guys, so here I am in Amsterdam. I've been walking around all morning. I finally found a windmill that didn't have a thousand billion tourists around it, so that was nice. But this is my second full day. I had half day and this is my second full day, and I go home tomorrow. And my feet are absolutely killing me from all the walking around. So I'm just having a little break in the room. So I thought I would pull a little reading. Reading from Amsterdam. So there is the view from my window. I'm like sort of closer to the airport area. It's about a 10-minute ride from the airport where I am, so it's quite built up. Take you closer for a closer look. And then we will flip the camera and, oh, there's my clothes behind us. And I'll put a reading. Okay, so I feel like you've got a bit of the view of stuff going on outside the window, a bit of me, and I feel like you can see the cards like that as well, and from the table. So I'm going to start with a few of the little pocket edition Wild Unknown cards. We have got Mercury retrograde. We're in the shadow period, like the pre-shadow period of it at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out. Given that it's officially stationed and moving backwards from the first. We've got the Hermit. Interesting that I said, oh, this one wants me to choose it. So I've got that one wanted to fall out. That's quite nice. So we've got the Nine of Cups and the Two of Pentacles come out. So I'll just show you the cards. The Hermit. I actually love the Hermit. I don't know if any of you have ever seen The Never-Ending Story. Highly recommend. Very 80s kids film, but I think it's appropriate for all ages. And the reason I said it was there's the big turtle that lives in the swamp of sadness, and like the character Atreyu like climbs up onto the top of his shell thinking it's a mountain, and he like rises up out of the swamp. But if you get sad, you like sink into the swamp. But anyway, this turtle, I think his name's like Mauler or something. He's like the wise one, and you know the Hermit card always makes me think of that. In the film, he's like gone mad from isolation, kind of, and like is like, we don't know, and sort of talks to himself and refers to himself as we, because it's just himself and his subconscious. So he kind of has a conversation between his subconscious and his conscious self, which is quite interesting. So there's a lot about going within there. It's a Virgo card as well, and Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So that's interesting, as we've got some of that. As I pulled this card, I was saying, oh look, it's getting brighter outside. That's not what I was saying, but I might have to go back out in a minute because it's gone sunny. Yes, what was I saying? I might have to go back outside before that. Oh yes, as I was pulling the card, I said that Mercury will have stationed, completely gone to a standstill on the first, and obviously this is a card of stillness, so that's very, very poignant, I feel. And we've got the Nine of Cups. We've got a new moon on there, which is quite nice as well. So it's about coming towards some sort of emotional completion of our hopes, because the new moon is sort of a hope, and then the completion is sort of maybe something we manifested on the new moon, last moon cycle coming to some sort of positive closure. And obviously the cups are always emotions, so there might be some sort of little juicy emotional gift or like little dream come true type thing coming up. And then we've got the Two of Pentacles. Again, I find this highly mercurial card, as it's this, I feel this quite Gemini. We've got the two discs and this sort of infinity symbol, and this constant juggling. And I always see Gemini as a bit of a juggler of tasks, and obviously it symbolises the twins. I am a Gemini, and personally I know I can feel like I'm in two different places at once, two different minds at once, and I can be doing more than two different things at once. And it's also a butterfly, which I feel is a transformation symbol, which is very interesting. However, also I feel like that kind of like flitting around energy, like quite hard to grasp a hold of. So we've got some going within, but you know what we're saying about Mauler, like talking to himself as well, and like the conscious talking to the subconscious, the conscious mind talking to the subconscious mind, and that's sort of the two states, and juggling those two states of inner self and outer self, and maybe juggling and coming to some sort of balance with that. And maybe that is, you know, what we're hoping for, to find some sort of balance between our internal and external worlds, our self, our spiritual self, as I'll refer to it, and our outer self, like our real world self. So now I'm going to go for some spring wakes, if I can get them out. There. I love these sparkly ones. Just noting that on the bottom of the deck is the King of Cups, good old King of Cups. There we go, let's go sparkles. Can you see the sparkles? Shiny. So I'm going to choose that actually as an overall energy card, given what is here. I didn't actually notice what was on the bottom of this deck. Oh, but now there is Temperance. So that's quite interesting. So that's about patience and balance, and being in a balanced state of mind. And our good old King of Cups here, he is about being balanced in the emotions. Yeah. So let's see what else comes out. Just noted I caught eye of the Fool there. Ooh. And we have the Ace of Pentacles, beautiful card, earth sign energy there. And that has come out to be on top of the Hermit, which I said is a Virgo card. Virgo is mutable earth. And, you know, Pentacles are usually real life, our real life gains, like our worldly gains, not our spiritual ones. Like, interesting. Oh my God, guys, we've got three aces. I'm going to pull one more. It's not possible, surely, to get four aces. I'm going to keep going. Ooh, do I take that one? Page of Swords. Okay. So I've got four cards. The Pentacle, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Wow. I've never pulled three aces together, and they've come right underneath our cards here. And then we've got also the Page of Swords. I feel like that might be a little bit of pesky Mercury sneaking in, because air signs are the Swords cards, and mental clarity also. But the page, he is quite juvenile, and Gemini is an air sign, mutable air. And I feel like that might be a little bit of trickery-pokery going on, just slightly there, but we'll see. Again, I feel like we've got a thing about balance. It's interesting that the Ace of Swords didn't come out, but the page did. So maybe there's something, we've got the Pentacle, we've got the Cup, so the emotion, we've got the abundance, the sort of groundedness, the worldly wealth, we've got a completion, we've made it to the Ace, we've got the cups, that's the emotional gift, and you know, we've brought that into balance. And we've got the wand, which is, it's like not so much our mental clarity, more about our spiritual fire, and our sort of sacral chakra, like life force, our creative life source, our fire, our spark that keeps us animated, and that's sort of our soul passions. And so we've got balance in that. You know, we've got all those tools, but we haven't quite got maybe the mastery of the mind. And I was talking about obviously Mauler, you know, talking to himself and having these conversations with his own psyche. And so maybe we need to come into a bit more balance with the Temperance, have a bit more patience. So yeah, it's sort of like the art of listening to ourselves. And I feel like it very much goes with that, the art of listening to ourselves. And so leveling up this Page of Swords, to not be too quick to act, too quick to speak, too quick to judge, I'm getting as well, and too quick to jump to conclusions and assumptions, like not to act too rashly, especially in this mercurial time. I do feel like this is a much slower mercurial energy than usual, but that's just my own personal feelings. And I feel like maybe there's something to balance here between these two, the emotion and the mind. So maybe through being balanced in our emotions as well, we can balance out too much hasty communication and hasty action. Yeah. Right, now let's clarify. Yeah, things are looking positive. I think they're beautiful cards all round. This one, Maypole. We've had this one before. 3 cards, please. So 2 more overall messages of this reading. Cow. Interesting. This one. I've got 2. Honey and indulge. So we've had Maypole before. So I feel like this is, yeah, the bounties of spring. I'm fertile in what I seed. There is reason to dance and drink upon the riches I receive. Pentacles and that new moon card on here, that sort of impregnating and fulfilling a cycle. And then this abundance of the Ace of Pentacles, well, all of these aces, the abundance of that. I'm fertile not in seed, and there is reason to dance and drink upon the riches I receive. So we've seeded something really good, and we are, you know, lapping up the riches, I feel, with that one. And, you know, it's like that whole, we are really coming into the blooming of spring. I mean, the beautiful tulips and things I've seen here in Amsterdam at the Kokenhof Gardens, my goodness. I felt very sprung by spring there. And the cow. So again, we have this beautiful crown of flowers, which is just gorgeous. And it's stood in like a meadow full of flowers. So again, massive spring vibes. May the embrace of all that is nurturing you awaken all that you are becoming. That's beautiful. And then we get the honey. The sweetness of you swells in the grace of your pull, also beautifully lethal. The third eye chakra is lit up there with the eye. And then indulge. You are worth every desire, every dream. Demand what is yours, demand what you need. Beautiful. And we have a full moon out the window here, and we started on the table with a new moon card here. And so yeah, it just is like all the blessings, really. There's not a lot of darkness I can bring to this reading. The only like slightly things I think we need to look out for is not being too hasty, making sure we are taking our time, especially with it being Mercury retrograde. And it says, so beautifully lethal. So, yeah, maybe there's a little message in there, not to, you know, get too quick and crazy with like lapping up the goods, but, you know, in a balanced way, receive. And yeah, all the blessings on that. Just a beautiful, beautiful reading. So yeah, happy spring. And yeah, I hope you have a bountiful Mercury retrograde. I feel like with it being between two eclipses, because we have an eclipse, a solar eclipse on the 8th, and we have just had that lunar eclipse in Libra, which was quite a balanced one, and I feel like this retrograde is going to actually help to work with the energies to slow things down and balance things out. And I think once that has happened, you know, we will be lapping up all this abundance. So, you know, just let everything that happens in this retrograde and between these two eclipses happen. And know that it is, you know, our blessings and pulling in the greater good for us. So yeah, just sit back and reap all that is coming to us is what I'm getting here. Beautiful, guys, beautiful.